Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Bookless, I want to start by thanking you for your work supporting the 2010 Nuclear Posture Review and the New START Treaty between the United States and Russia. This is a treaty that places verifiable and mutual limits on nuclear weapons and on their delivery vehicles. This treaty expires in 2021, but the U.S. and Russia can extend the treaty by 5 years to 2026 if both sides agree. So let me start by asking, from a technical perspective, can you talk about the benefits of the New START Treaty in terms of how it helps us gain insight into Russia's nuclear program?
I believe that the New START Treaty and really any nuclear arms treaty gives us that insight through the agreement on a verification regime that allows us to examine the facilities and nuclear capabilities of the other nation. And so I believe that those insights are important as we assess the threats that we face.
So do you personally believe that it is in the national security interest of the United States to extend the New START Treaty?
I believe that, if confirmed, I would hope that I would be part of the dialogue that would go into that discussion of whether the New START Treaty should be extended.
Okay, but I'm asking how you feel about it. You're the person who's up for confirmation to be the number 2 here, and I want to know your view. Personally, you've studied this, you're an expert in the field. Do you think it's in our national security interest to extend the New START Treaty?
Based on I would have to consider all of the factors at the time that we were considering that extension before I could answer your question.
Oh, come on. So suppose you had to answer it today. You know all the factors. You are an expert. That's the reason you're sitting in front of us. So based on what you know today, do you believe it's in our national interest to extend the New START Treaty?
I think the New START Treaty has contributed to a stable international nuclear security environment. And so today, I would say, based on my understanding, I would lean toward extending.
Okay, I'm going to take that as a yes. So I think it's really a key point to remember, and it's the reason I push on this. The United States gets much more information about the Russian nuclear program from New START than we would without the agreement, and I think that's the point you've made. I'm seriously concerned that the Trump administration's decision to withdraw from another arms control agreement with Russia, the INF Treaty, is a precursor to withdrawing from START or not renewing New START. Allowing these treaties to expire would remove the remaining limits on Russia's deployed nuclear warheads and potentially spark another nuclear arms race, and that would make America a lot less safe. I have another question I want to ask about, and that is, according to the American Psychiatric Association, gambling disorder is a diagnosable addiction similar to alcohol addiction or drug addiction. In addition to causing financial and legal problems, it's correlated with increased incidents of suicide attempts and other behavioral health issues. The National Council of Problem Gambling has estimated that as many as 56,000 active duty members of the military meet the criteria for gambling disorder. Mr. McCaffrey, do you believe that the Department of Defense should take seriously the impact of gambling disorder on military personnel, veterans, and their families?
I do. I believe, I would need to check my facts, but I believe in either the NDA 18 or 19, there was actually a request that the department look at this issue to determine whether it should be added into one of our screening tools, one of our mental health assessment screening tools in terms of identifying mental health issues.
So that's something Senator Daines and I worked on and actually we introduced a bill to prevent gambling disorder in the military, part of our bill was put into this year's NDAA, requiring the department to include gambling disorder in health assessments of people in the armed forces. Can I just ask, can we count on you to enforce that?
Most definitely.
Good. And let me ask you just one more question on this. According to a 2017 analysis by the Government Accountability Office, there are over 3,000 slot machines on overseas military bases. Do you think it's a good idea to allow slot machines on these bases to fund other recreational activities?
Senator, I was not aware. I was not aware of that fact.
Now you are.
Now I am, and I would look to my sister agency within the department to engage them in terms of their thinking about that and how that links to some of the concerns that you've raised with regarding to gambling disorder.
Well, I appreciate your attention to all of the issues surrounding gambling disorder. This is a problem for our military families, for our veterans, and I look forward to working with you on it. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.